Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And this is the Premier League predictions where you can get involved as well. So we'll go through each match over the weekend, and we'll see what our predictions are and see if any come true. I'm joined tonight by Roly. How are you, Roly? Okay?
Feeling positively Champions League. And we're getting close to the draw now, aren't we?
Absolutely, a week away. I mean, I was going to do the show last night. I was all ready to do the show last night. And I was just about to put it out there. But when I got home from work, I had a bit of a bad head and it just didn't want to shift. I think the heat, it was so hot yesterday. It was really hot. And I just felt sick with it. And I thought, you know what, I can't. I'll just leave it till tomorrow now because it's just didn't feel right at all. But I had a couple of painkillers and had about an hour's sleep and woke up and I, do you know what, the headache had cleared and I was like, wow, okay. So I didn't feel too bad. But yeah. But if you do like what you see, please do smash that like. It really does help the channel stay towards the top of the search. So do smash that like and new viewers can find it. Also, if you are brand new to the channel, come and smash that subscribe. Come be part of this great community. That is free to do so. Also, the bell notification, that will tell you when I'm live, have any pre-records or any upcoming shows as well. So currently on 1,007 subscribers at the moment. So hopefully that figure will rise as new people find the channel. Okay, right, let's get into some of the comments before we get into the actual show. Ben says, hi, Tony and Roly. How are you doing today? Can you believe Man City bought another player again?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I can because they're allowed to because they've got the FFP.
And they let a few players go in the summer as well. So
yeah, Mahrez is gone, Laporte's gone, for 23 million. And by the looks of things, it's looking like Salah could be on his way to the Saudi leagues at the moment. So we don't know what's happening with that. There is rumours going around that he's agreed a £250 million payday over 3 years. So again, we don't know how true this is, but things may develop. Apparently, they're not giving up on the chase for Salah. So let's hope this continues, and let's hope this is the case. I mean, he might not even play on Sunday. Who knows? And
Crypty
we might have some developments.
So we'll have to wait and see. But maybe it's his head's turned, which would be good. And he wouldn't have too much problem going to Saudi because obviously he's from Egypt, which is an Arab country, and it's not far from Saudi, so he won't have necessarily have the same outlook on the Saudi regime as we do.
Yeah.
So it's the same with Mahrez. He's Moroccan, isn't he?
So Salah?
No, Mahrez. He's from North Africa.
Algeria.
Algeria, yeah. It's another Arab country, so they have a more favourable outlook on Saudi than we do.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll have less issues going there than European players. But again, if the money's right, why shouldn't you go?
Well, if they're not giving up the chase on him, then who knows? Because at the end of the day, Liverpool might think, do you know what? Let's just cash in and get some money for him. So who knows? We'll find out anyway.
I think what it will happen is if he is going to go, or they are going to sell him, they're going to see who they can get to replace him before the window closes. So it's something that would have to happen for the next 2 or 3 days to give him time to get a replacement in.
Yeah, definitely. Bia says, evening, Tony and Uncle Roly. Good evening, Bia. Evening all, says Julie Toon. Good evening to you, Julie. Hope you're well. Bia says, I'm sat in the bar at Gatwick on my flight to Ibiza. I'd ever piss Putin off. God, don't say that. Jesus, no. Julie J says, evening all. Good evening, Julie J. Your friend's been quiet today. You may bump into him, says Julie. Ian says, hi, Tony and Roly. Hi, Ian. Hope you're well. Andrew says, yeah, absolutely fine. John D says, evening, everyone. Good evening, John. Hope you're well. Holly says, hi, Tony and Roly. Good evening, and hope you're both doing all right tonight. Yeah, absolutely fine. Thank you, Holly.
I'm doing Champions League.
John says, evening, Tony and Roly. Hope you're both well. Thanks, John. We are very well. Thank you very much indeed. Good evening, says Jody, good evening to you, mate. Hope you're well. Gareth says, good evening, Tony and Rolly. Good evening, Gareth. Hope you're well too, mate. Gary says, evening, Tony and Rolly, and all fun stars. Are we all well? Absolutely, Gary.
Yeah.
Definitely, mate. Paul Hanson, evening, Tony and Rolly. Good evening, Paul. Hope you're well, my friend. Lee says, evening, Tony, Rolly, and everyone. Good evening to you, Lee. Hope you're fine as well. A lot of talk about players going to Saudi, and to be honest, I couldn't care less as long as they don't play for the team, because if anything, it weakens the opposition in the Premier League. Absolutely. I mean, look, they talked about Gabby Vega going there as well. I mean, a young lad like that, he's going over there. So strange. Alan says, evening, guys. Good evening, Alan. Hope you're well. And Tanji says, all I want to see is Gordon and Isak terrify Trent on Sunday, see us smash the Scousers and see Turkey Teeth sent off crying and mourning. Do you know what? Absolutely, Tanji. And do you know what? Not being funny, we're at home. And I can see we beaten Liverpool, because if you watch them against Bournemouth, their defence looked awful, and even Alisson was shaky. So again, you know what? It looks good for Sunday. And JB says, "All right, lads, yeah." I mean, look, I'm just going to go into something that I was mentioned on my video the other night. I thought I'd just give everybody an update just so they know. I mean, yes, I did see on my video the other night I was in the chat of a certain channel. Obviously, I'm not naming the channel. Don't want to name anybody. But I went in the channel chat, said hi to people. My comment got removed, and I thought, or maybe it was an accident. So I said hi again to everybody, and again my comment was removed. Then there was a person I spoke to, a friend of mine, and I said hi to him, and again my comment was removed. I have spoken. I did send the message to the podcaster whose channel it is, and guess what? He hasn't bothered responding to me. So he obviously he's either just being ignorant to me and can't even be bothered just to even say, even a simple, I am so sorry this has happened, it shouldn't have happened. That's fine, that's fine. But, he may not be happy with me, he may not like me for some reason, but there's no need to ignore people in this world. I was brought up to be respectful to people, and that's how I am. Even if somebody has really paid me off and they still message me, I would have the decency to message them back, because I wouldn't show my ignorance, because that's not how I was brought up. I was brought up to respect and to answer people, regardless of what people done to you. And it doesn't have to be. I'm not asking for a long message. It would have been nice if he just said, "I do apologise. It shouldn't have happened, and I'll make sure it won't happen again." Um, the thing is, he's like I say, I was so disappointed on the channel that it was happening. As I say, I've had no response back, and it just seems he doesn't give a stuff about his channel, or he's just letting his mods do what they like. I mean, look, I've got mods on my channel, and if this person came on my channel speaking and my mods were deleting these messages, I'll be bloody annoyed, because I'll be saying to my mods, sorry, don't delete his messages. He's not said anything wrong. Let him have his say. If I had said something totally out of order and it was taken off, that's fair enough. But when it's something as much as just hello, do you know what it is? I'm just now let him get on with it. I don't even watch his channel now. I've turned me back totally on his channel. I've done a lot for this guy. I helped his channel out, helped him when he was on holiday. This is how my channel came about. Um, you know, so at the end of the day, he should be thankful for what I did for him. And the only reason he doesn't like it is because I only asked him when I was on the camera. I only said on camera at the time when we played Man U at home. I said, I'm sorry, but you do not go out there and say, may the best United win. You say, no, your Cast United are going to win, regardless if you've got mates who are Man U fans. I've got friends who are Man U fans. My boss is a Man U fan, and if I said to him, sorry, it's not the best United who wins, it'll be Newcastle United winning, he wouldn't hold a grudge against me for saying it. So, and that's all I'm going to say. But I'm not stressed over it. It doesn't bother me. At the end of the day, I just thought I'd just let everybody know what had happened, and I haven't had a response back. So that's all. Um, Ian, thank you for your £5 donation, friend. Thank you. He says, does anyone know how Pratt is getting on? No. What's happened? Didn't he go for an operation or something? Is that right? Or I don't know. I can't remember now. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure at all. We'll find out though, no doubt. Um, Alan says Saudi Muslim players like Saudi, of course, the money. Yeah, absolutely, Alan. Jody says we need to make life hell for Klopp and his players from the minute they get off the bus. Yeah, and when they're sitting on that temporary seats as well. Holly says, sounds good news. Salah's off to join Ronaldo. Let's hope so, Holly. Let's hope. Gary says, Tony, you just walk away from those things. Don't worry. No, I'm not worried about it, Gary. To be honest, I just thought, like I say, I'll just give you an update on what happened in case anybody's wondering. As I say, it wouldn't happen in my chat anyway. That my mods would do that. So it's up to him if he wants his channel ruined, because that's the way to do it. JB says Scousers are going to hate the Saudis, hopefully more on Sunday. Andrew says not even worth stressing over, Tony. No, I'm not stressing, Andrew. Don't you worry about that. Who is it that's ignoring your former co-host? Not a former co-host, but I used to be on his channel, so I think you can work out who that is, Alan. Holly says, yes, I agree, Andrew. It's not worth stressing about. Absolutely, Holly. Paul says, I think I know who you're on about, but now I knew why you two stopped talking. It was because he didn't like me saying about Man United, and he didn't like the fact that I called him out saying, look, basically, come on, you don't see me the best United win, you see Newcastle United are going to win. Is that the clue? Yeah. I understand now. Yeah, no worries, Alan. Tony, chill, mate. No, I'm chilled, mate. I'm absolutely chilled. Don't you worry about that. Andrew says, I watched him since the start, and only a couple of weeks ago he didn't know who I was. Yes, aneurysm, Tony. Bias is my best mates. Oh, yes, aneurysm. Oh, aneurysm. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I hope he's okay then. Yeah, let's hope. When did that happen, Ian? Because obviously I haven't been on for a couple of nights, so I don't know. My best mate's a Man U fan. I tell him every week his team's going to lose, whoever they're playing. Absolutely. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, whether you've got mates or whatever in the supporting opposition team, I mean, look, as much as it's funny, I've actually got a Sunderland fan that works with me, believe it or not. Yeah, a Sunderland fan. He's got it all plastered on the back of inside his van, big Sunderland flag up, and even he has banter with me, which is quite unusual for a Sunderland fan. Great to see you, Tony and Roly and everyone. Good to see you too, Mighty Mac. Foxy says the Belgian sides, Ghent and Union St. Gilles, are winning tonight in Europe. What a league, what a country.
Yeah, what a country.
John says he's got a brain aneurysm, Tony. Oh shit. I hope he's okay, yeah. Thoughts are with Predator at this time, yeah. When did that happen? Does anybody know? Because I'm not sure. As I say, I haven't been on for a few nights, so I don't know. I'm playing catch up now. I hate Man U, so that's what I would say, says Paul. Absolutely. You're correct about United, plus a lot of people joke to him about it. Well, exactly. I was wondering. Keep cool, Tony says. I'm cool. Don't you worry about that. Some people can be very petty. Absolutely, John. And that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, I was always brought up to be respectful to the people, regardless if they pissed you off or not. And, that's the way I am. Paul says, unfortunately, half my family are Sunderland fans and being with us from Durham, it's half and half Sunderland. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Found out a couple of weeks ago, so I think Tony was waiting for an operation. Oh. Yeah, he did say something about an operation. I remember him saying something, yeah. Does he have seagulls in the back of his van, says Jake. As soon as you mentioned Man U, I knew his lost mate, absolutely, Paul. Jack says, evening, Tony and Roly. Good evening, Jack. Hope you're well. Gary says, so Roly, Barnes, Isak, Murphy for starters.
Oh, Isak, yeah. I think he'll stick with Gordon and Almiron. And Gordon will want to score against the Scouts as being an ex-Evertonian.
Yeah.
Murphy's probably still suffering from sleepless nights with his little one, his new arrival. Though he took Isak off at Man City, he didn't get any service couldn't really, never really got into the game or got the ball because of the way the game panned out.
Yeah.
Um, but I think on Sunday I'm going to try and start fast because I don't know if any of you watched the Bournemouth game. Bournemouth had a goal ruled out rightly for offside, and I think it was like 37 seconds, and they could have had two more in the first sort of like 20 minutes when they only got the one. Uh, we can finish. We've got finishers up front now, so um, if they defend like they did at the beginning of the game against Bournemouth for that period of time, we could do a Tottenham on them.
Could do.
Oh, bloody hope so.
That'd be great.
That'll shut Julie up.
Holly Holly said, fantastic good news. Irish centre back Cathal Heffernan from AC Milan. What an acquisition. Cork's Roy Keane will be proud. Yeah. Foxy says, Hong Heen Suk has just scored one hell of a goal. Volley for Ghent. There we are, you see. Farmers League are out. Pulling out the great goals, you see, as Roly calls it, the Farmers League.
I never called them the Farmers League. I said I didn't rate the league. Stop putting words into my mouth, Tony.
I hate Sunderland too. I think we all hate Sunderland, to be fair.
I've got to be nice about Belgium because I'm going there in April. I want them to let me in the country.
Paul says, with Gabby Vega going to Saudi, do you think in the future that could be a potential signing for us? Do you know what? That wouldn't surprise. Do you know what wouldn't surprise me is, it wouldn't surprise me if he went to Saudi and he came to us on loan. It wouldn't surprise me if that happened, because that could be a way we're getting around FFP. Who knows? Watch the speed.
I think the problem with that scenario is that the Saudis want to actually improve their league and make it one of the top 10 leagues in world football. So I don't see them buying players just to let them come to us.
Yeah. JB says, don't have a single Man U or Liverpool mate. I live in Washington, but due to the allegiance to NUFC, most mates in black and white and with the odd Mackham. Yeah, there's plenty of them in Washington, isn't there?
I'm surrounded by Scousers and Scouse Mackhams.
Yeah. Lee says he'd stick Mickey on the left. Good point. Paul says, I would start Mickey as last season when people doubted him. He proved them wrong. Absolutely. Jody says, Almiron, Isak Barnes would be my front three. Yeah, that's not a bad shot. I think Gordon will start. He was excellent against Villa.
Yeah, and it wasn't bad against. No one was particularly bad against City. It's more that City had played one of the best games they've played in a long time. I mean, they were really good against us. I mean, the last time they played that well was probably against Barcelona. Not Barcelona, it's not Real Madrid.
John's put good point there. Unless there's injuries, he's expecting Eddie to stick with the same team.
There's no reason to change it. You say we don't play Man City every week.
Holly's got her predictions in already. 3-2 to Newcastle. Jack says, thoughts on being linked with Lozano? I mean, look. Yeah, I mean, this is a strange one. And the links seem to be getting stronger, don't they? I mean, look, he is a good player. He's not a bad player at all. He can play the right wing, left wing. He's 28 years of age. He's into the last year of his contract. So I wouldn't think the fee would be high for him, to be fair. And when you've seen him play for Mexico, he's had some great games in the World Cup for Mexico. You know, not just this World Cup, the one in Russia as well. And he's played well wherever he's been in Europe, and he's got Champions League experience. That's what you got to look at as well. It might not be as a starter, you might be a bench player, but it's always nice when you've got that little bit extra on the bench that you can just pull off the bench and say, right, okay, get on there, get a crossing and try and grab us a goal, you know. So it's options and it's strength and depth. That's the way you got to look at it anyway.
Yeah, I don't see it. Not because of there's anything wrong with the player. I think that the next port of call, if we do bring someone else in before the window closes, will be a right-sided centre half. I think we've got enough. We've got enough up front to wait till the summer.
Yeah,
That's. I think we significantly strengthened the forward line with Harvey Barnes. Um, Murphy's been playing well. Miggy can go through those hot streaks. Gordon's playing well. Isak and Wilson. I don't
yeah,
think with FFP. I don't think there's a need to get another attacking player in just yet. Next summer's a different kettle of fish. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't buy anyone in January,
yeah.
unless something we get a deal that is just too good to pass up.
Um,
We've got strength in midfield. The only
yeah,
area where we lack that depth is at the back, and we've addressed some of that with Livramento and Lewis Hall. We
yeah,
just need that back up the extra centre half, and we're good to go.
yeah. I mean, Paul saying he'd love a good 3-0 win against Turkey Teeth, wouldn't we all?
Yeah.
Foxy says, in regards to John, don't let it get you down, mate. No, it's not got me down at all, Foxy. I was just a bit disappointed that he just didn't bother writing back. I thought he might have just had said something. He says, I'm a bit disappointed with that he's behaving with you. You and Roly helped him a lot. Sometimes that's life, guys. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's his loss. Man United kind of give it away as well, says Julie. Since being promoted back to the Premier League in 2017, we've now beaten Liverpool at St James's. How I would have that feeling will change on Sunday with a 3-1 win. That would be lovely.
Thinking, well, that was after the previous promotion that we beat them at 3-1 when Enrique got sent off.
2-0.
Is it 2-0? Yeah, when Reina got sent off.
When Reina got sent off, when Percino done his
Yeah.
when he fell to the ground, if he wasn't even hardly touched. I mean, fair enough. Okay, I
that
don't
was a
care. Do you
terrible
know what I
challenge.
don't care about though, Roly? I don't care that he was hardly touched, because how many players how many times that happened to us,
Oh
where
yeah,
where players had a foul and he's gone down, as if he's being hard hit, and yet there's nothing wrong with him. As soon as the player's sent off, he gets up and gets on with it.
I
And
mean,
then as soon as but nobody in the media does anything about it. But as soon as Perch done it, they were all on Match of the Day. Oh, Perch! Oh no, that was too dramatic. He had no right to do that. He shouldn't have done that. You know, he's got a player sent off. And I'm like, if that had been the show on the other foot, say that was Enrique who'd went down, and the thing is, what would they've done back then? So
yeah, because
it's just
there's a certain Mr. Salah has a potential of going down extremely easily and theatrically.
I mean, look, we beat Liverpool. I remember when we did beat Liverpool 3-1, because I was at that game, and I'm actually seen on the TV, because you can see me celebrating the first goal. I think it was from Andy Carroll. But it was at the Leazes end. And that was Pardew's first game, when after Houghton had been sacked, and Pardew's first game, because I had my season ticket then, and it was Liverpool at home. And I remember, because we gave Pardew some stick that night. We really did in the ground. We did not want him. We were singing Chris Houghton's Black and White Army. And my mate, who was sitting in the Milburn stand, he said that was really pissing Pardew off, because he was getting sick of it. Because he kept turning around to the fans and going, shrugging his shoulders and going, what's going on here? I'm the manager, not him. But that's because we were so paid off that Mike Ashley had got rid of Chris Houghton after getting beat off West Brom, which was absolutely disgusting, considering in that first start of the season, we beat Villa 6-0, we beat Sunderland 5-1, and, the man did well for us, Chris Houghton, and, and that's why Pardew wasn't welcomed at first, because it just seemed to have been like a mate's trick. Oh, let's get Pardew in. Some were saying he was paying off a debt at the casino for that Derek Lambias on. But anyway, we're going to get on with the show anyway. JB says, will Hall and Miley have a shout on Sunday? You don't know.
No,
Could be.
I doubt Miley will. Hall might be on the bench, but I doubt he'll. I think it will be an unchanged side from last weekend.
Right, let's go to the first game. The first game's tomorrow night, Friday night game, and it's down at Stamford Bridge. It's Chelsea versus the new boys, Luton Town. Now then, Chelsea have bought a hell of a lot of new players in, and they've bought another one today from Brazil. Surely they must be hitting their FFP limit, or very close to it.
I don't.
Now then, Roly.
I don't think so.
Now then, Roly.
A lot of players.
Now then, Roly. Give us your thoughts on this game tomorrow, and what you think the outcome will be. Chelsea's just come off the back of a 3-1 defeat. Luton haven't played since the loss to Brighton 4-1.
Yeah, I think Chelsea are buying players like they think they get extra bonus points for the more players they buy, a bit like Forest did last season. I don't think they're going to be anywhere near their FFP because they've sold like 200 million worth of players, which will easily fund what they spent, the initial payments of what they spent this season. So they're not going to be any trouble there.
Yeah.
Chelsea. Oh, that's. I still don't know what to make of Chelsea because they in the first sort of half hour against Liverpool they were atrocious, and then became the better team in the game. But they're a bit powder puff up front. But I think playing against Luton is still very naive. They're going to get enough chances to win the game. I think they'll win comfortably, unfortunately. And I think it'll be 3-0 to Chelsea.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, look, I think this will be it. This will be a difficult game for Luton Town. But I wouldn't write them off. I would think Rob Edwards of Luton Town, the manager, has probably learnt lessons from his game against Brighton. As he spoke on the TV, he said, look, a couple of silly mistakes, if we hadn't made them, they don't score them goals. I'm sure he's probably played that back to the team. He's probably told them where he wants them to play, how he wants them to be stronger. Yes, we know that it's not, they've got one player in there which has come all the way from the National League all up to the Premier League, which is a great fairy tale story. We all love a fairy tale, and that's great to see, and it would probably be more of a fairy tale if they went there and won the game and he scored the winner, in the 90th minute from outside the box and made it 1-0 and Luton win the game. Everybody be like, wow, this is a fairy tale. He's come up the leagues, 5 leagues to get to the Premier League, and he scores. It's not the first time players come from non-league and scored in the Premier League, and we'll look at Jamie Vardy. He won the Premier League. So, look, I think this will be hard for Luton. I really do. But I think Luton might be a bit tighter in defence. I'm actually going to say Chelsea win this 3-1. I think Luton will score. So I'm going to say 3-1. But let's see what the comments say about this one as well. Just quickly posting off topic. Don't know if all other people have seen it, but did you see the old Adidas kits on Amazon documentary when they all went to Adidas headquarters? Yeah. I haven't seen that part yet. I mean, look, the new one's coming out tonight, episode 3, isn't it? So midnight tonight. So at least I'll get to see that now.
I saw episode 3, and I think it's episode 4 that they go to Adidas, and they're bringing out they're going through looking at all the old iconic tops that Adidas did for us. So brought a lump to me throat. Just going back to the Luton game, Chelsea game. The problem with Luton is that these guys playing haven't adapted to the Premier League yet. They think they've got more time than they have, and they're making mistakes that they can get away with in the Championship, which you can't in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem when they're playing. They'll get punished, and they'll continue to get punished until they can actually the guys get with the pace of the game. We'll
Yeah.
get there, but I think this is too early for Chelsea for them to do it
Yeah.
against Chelsea. I'll be surprised, but I'll actually be delighted if they don't lose.
Jack says 3-1 Chelsea as well, like me. Coffee says hi, Tony and Roly and all. Good
Hi,
evening, Coffee.
Coffee.
Hope you're well. Chelsea should beat Luton, says Lawrence. If they don't, then I'd say they can kiss goodbye to getting top four. Yeah, absolutely. Agree with you, Lawrence, on that one. Chelsea 3-0, says Ronnie. Yeah, absolutely, Ronald. 3-0 Chelsea walkover, says Bia.
Yeah.
Paul's going for 4-0 win. Chelsea will have too much for Luton.
Yeah, I think so too.
Jackson to have a good game, says Clarkey. Yeah. 4-0, says Ian. Jody says Luton could surprise a few tomorrow night if they'd be up for this match, and Timmy Crow could make his debut. Yeah, absolutely. 3-0 Chelsea. Foxy says Chelsea need to get going versus Luton. Really solid squad, but just feels like something's missing still. A lot of pressure on Jackson to get the goals. Yeah, absolutely, Foxy. Yeah. I'm sure Chelsea will be gifted 1 billion by Abramovich, so that helps.
Any money from him? He's sanctioned, so he can't
no,
do it. He
he's got
give.
no money.
Well, it's got money, but it's not. He can't move.
Can't use it.
Can't use it in the UK.
Tanji says Chelsea struggle to score goals, so who knows? 1-1 might not be out the question, but expect Chelsea to win 2-1. 4-0, says Coffee. I think Chelsea win or Luton win or draw. Going to be plenty of goals and drama in this game. Yeah, possibilities, Gary. Klopp will set off and Mad Dog Tyndall escorts him off the pitch, says Julie J. Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Luton needs some home games to try and gain a win and a bit of confidence. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amanda loved the 96-97 blue away shirt. We could see a replica return. Yeah, definitely. Jake says 15-12. Wow, Jake, that's some bloody scoreline. There's talk of the return of the Grandad colour as well. That would be great. John says, I think Luton will struggle most weeks. They just don't have any Premier League quality. No, they don't, do they?
Yeah, that's
Julie says, Roly keeps disappearing.
Yes, on my green screen thing.
2-0, says JB. 2-0, says John as well. 4-1 Chelsea, says Lee. Godfather, evening Tony, Roly and chat. Good evening, Godfather, and he's going 1-0 Chelsea. Clark, he says 1 billion was gifted when the club was bought by Bowley as part of the conditions. Right, okay, then I see. Right, okay, so that's that game. Right, the first game on Saturday is a 12:30 kickoff down on the south coast at the Vitality Stadium. And it is between Bournemouth and Tottenham Hotspur. Now then, Bournemouth were unlucky against Liverpool because, you know, they started off well and there was a dodgy penalty given against them, so they could be aggrieved by that. But all in all, I thought Bournemouth were okay. Tottenham, everybody, you know, we've all said it, we don't think Tottenham are going to be that great this season. They're now Kane-less. But you know what? Against Man United, Tottenham actually turned up and played really, really well and probably could have won that game by more than 2 goals, in all honesty. I mean, look, I was quite shocked by the way Tottenham played against Man United. Bruno Fernandes, it was great when Ferret Face missed that sitter of a header and then he's looking at the offside flag to see if it's gone up and he's standing there looking at it and there's no flag going up. So you weren't offside, Ferret Face, you just made an error and it made you look really bad and stupid. Now then, I think this is going to be an interesting game. Both teams will go for it. I think they will. Bournemouth have got some good players on that side. Semenya, who scored it, that wasn't a bad goal. He took that quite well. I'm actually going to go for a draw in this game. I'm going to say 2-2 because I think it'll be goals in it. Last season, Bournemouth were 2 up and lost to 3-2, and they should never have lost that game. So yeah, I'm going to say 2-2. What's your thoughts, Roly? Bournemouth, Tottenham.
Um, though Tottenham were good against Man United. I'm not seeing the game to know, but from all accounts, they were quite good. I still don't think we know who Tottenham are yet.
Mm,
Um, from all accounts, Man United were pretty poor. I thought
yeah.
Bournemouth weren't bad against Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that penalty sort of changed the game because so it was never a penalty. Um, and they're not a bad side, Bournemouth. I think they'll get something out of this game. Um, I'm just trying to decide whether they'll win it by a goal or it'll be a draw. Don't go for a draw. Go 1-1.
You're going 1-1. I'm going 2-2. Right. Let's see what people in the comments are thinking, because there could be some great scores coming out of this one. Um, right. Coffee says Spurs do look good. Lawrence thinks Spurs win this one. GB says 1-1. Yeah, not bad shout. Jack says 2-1 Tottenham. Godfather saying 2-0 like me. Bournemouth to win 3-1 says Beer. 2-0 says Ronald as well. Another one agreeing with me. Ian's going 2-1 Spurs. Coffee's going 3-1 Spuds. Gary says, I see a Bournemouth win, a Spurs win, or a draw. All eventualities, Gary.
Covering all the bases again.
Mighty Win says 3-1 to Spurs. And maybe Man U made Tottenham look good, says Coffee. They were poor Man U, let's be honest. Bournemouth 2-1. 2-1 to Spurs, says Tanji. Paul says a 1-0 draw, tight game at Bournemouth. So that's what I'm thinking as well with the draw, because it's a tight ground. Paul says 2-0 draw. Man U made Spurs look better than they are. They did. For 30 minutes against Man U, Spurs were all over the shop defensively, says JB. They were. Bournemouth's a decent side. Always seem to be up for it against the so-called top six, so I wouldn't be surprised if ending the draw. I'm going 2-2 as well. Majority's going for 2-all. John says Man U were poor, made Spurs look great. Yeah. Mighty Win says Bournemouth doomed if you can't win, starting one up against 10. Not very good. Bin dippers. Yeah. Foxy says Bournemouth win, Spurs being massively overhyped. The truth is, Man United will weak. Spurs will concede at least 2. Julie's going 2-1 for Bournemouth. 2-1 says Alan to Spurs. 4-1 Chelsea. Bournemouth win says Lee. Yeah. Evening Badger says Oliver. Good evening to you, Oliver. Hope you're well, my friend. Jake says 3-0 Spurs. Kane hat-trick. Oh, wait, no. 2-0 Bournemouth. Spurs to lose 2-1. Tight game, says Oliver. Lawrence says no on Spurs. He'll probably end up losing this game, though. Yeah, they could well do. Lawrence, absolutely, mate. Okay, right. So that's the early game. That's on there. TNT Sports, which used to be BT Sports. To be honest with you, I hate that channel. If I'm all honest, I do not like that channel at all. I do not like the pundits. I do not like the commentator on it. I just think it's an awful, awful channel. It really is. And there is no way I would even pay 28 quid a month to watch that on Sky. Not that crap. Sorry. Right. Okay. Because I'm just so biased on there. So the next game is at the Emirates. It's Arsenal versus Fulham. It's a London derby, North versus West. North London v West London. The Cottagers have won one, beating the Evertonians, the Sticky Toffees. Look, what's your thoughts on this game, Roly?
It's going to be an interesting one. Um, Obviously, Mitrovic is off to Al Ihal, and they're looking to bring in Dujan Zapata that we were linked with when the takeover first
Yes.
took place. I don't know if they're able to get it done before the week before it was either in time to play. For Fulham, they're not bad. I think Arsenal will have too much for them. Um, they, I saw them against Palace, and they struggled in front of goal. I think that's going to be their big problem.
Yeah.
Um, I'm still going to take them to win, but I think it'll be 1-0.
Yeah. And before I get to me, I'll just go to some comments and see what people are saying in the
We've got a
chat
super
about
chat in there.
the.
Ian
Hey.
Fleming. Ian Fleming has. We've got a donation in there. Ian
Yes,
Fleming.
I did see. I did see that earlier on, Roly.
Oh, I didn't notice it.
Did you know? that was a, that was a long while back. Yeah.
Yeah, I was. Well, thanks, Ian. Anyway, I'll say thanks now because I just noticed it because I'm behind on the chat.
Pete says, "I hope we shut Mr. Teeth up on Sunday." Hi, Pete. Hope we do, mate. Absolutely. Godfather says, "Wonder when Spurs will turn Spursy." Lol. Absolutely. Agree. To be honest, Spurs and Man U are both look vulnerable under the slightest pressure. Yeah, they do, don't they? Clarky says, "Don't hold back, Tony." Do you know what? The thing is, so I really do not like that channel. I do not like that channel. I just think they're so biased. Rio Ferdinand, biased.
It's not the
And them
worst
commentators, them commentator, that
because they have
commentator is
Michael Owen
absolutely
on there as
awful.
well. They have Michael
Yeah.
Owen on there as well, even though he played for the team. He hates us because we hate him.
But even the commentator, he's just awful. The commentator, and I'm just like, sorry, it's just awful, awful channel. GB says 3-1 Arsenal, 4-0 Arsenal, says Oliver. 4-0 says Godfather. 2-0 says Jack. I think that's what he's meaning. Arsenal should win this game. 5-0 says Coffee. TNT should be blown away. Absolutely, it's explosives.
I like the choice
Matey
of
Wynn
word.
says, if you listen to the lads on Tour Under, one of them supports the team where Postecoglou started and rates him highly as Eddie. Wow.
Well, we'll see.
Ian says 2-0. The Arsenal win 3-0, says Ronald. I like the way he's put that. Julie says Eddie Howe invented Bournemouth. Absolutely. I'm going 3-0 Arsenal. 2-2 draw, says Lee. 2-0 says John Arsenal. 3-1 to the Gunner, says Alan. 3-1 to Arsenal, says Tangi. 2-1 to Bournemouth. David Charlison will score for Spurs. Gary says Arsenal will wipe the floor with them. On paper, Arsenal should win. However, I think Fulham are capable of getting a draw against Arsenal 1-1. That's not a bad shout, you know. Before being walloped at home by Brentford, Fulham were very lucky at Everton. Yes, they were.
Yeah.
Arsenal 0. Silves will devise a cunning plan, says Mighty Win. Yeah. 5-0, says Julie. For Arsenal. Yeah. Pay attention, Roly, says Ian. Darren Fletcher is definitely not the best commentator on TNT. No, he's not, Pete. He's absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. Awful commentator. 4-0 Arsenal. Clarky says, Roly, Michael Owen is a legend. Sorry, I meant Bellend. Owen hates Shearer. Off topic, but have you watched the YouTube documentary on pirate football streaming? I haven't yet, no. But it may be something interesting to watch. So, my thoughts on this game. It's home advantage, in my opinion, for Arsenal. I think Arsenal have too much for Fulham. Yes, Fulham were lucky against Everton. But do you know what? I don't know what scoreline to put this down at. I'm going to say 3-0 Arsenal. Can't see them losing the game, to be honest with you. Right, okay. So the next game is at the G-Tech Community Stadium in West London. I'll take this one first, and that is Brentford versus Crystal Palace. So London derby, West versus South. Thomas versus Roy. Good old Roy Hodgson. Look, Palace have played okay this season, although there's only 2 games in. Yes, they lost the last game, but 1-0 to Arsenal. I think it'll be tight. Brentford have a very good home record, as you know, a lot of teams found out last season. Yes, they haven't got David Raya, which is a bit of a blow, but Brentford has still got a good team there. Wissa and Mbeumo, you've got Rico Henry at left back. You've got Josh De Silva, who I rate very highly. So they've got some great players still there. Jensen. I can see Brentford winning this game. It'll be tight. I'm going to see a 2-1 to Brentford at the G-Tech. So before I come to Roly, hold your thought, Roly, and I'll just go to the comments and see what the comments are saying on this game as well. Yeah, so I'm going to say a 2-1 because I think it'll be a really tight game. Why does Owen hate Shearer? Because didn't Shearer drop him? BS says, I for one don't think Pirates should be streaming football. Where'd you put TV on a pirate ship? London Derby 2-2 says Oliver. 3-2 to Brentford says Coffee. 2-0 to Brentford says Beer. Tangi says Brentford 1-0. Ronald's got the same as me, 2-1 to Brentford. Lawrence says I'm going for Brentford. It'll be tight, yeah. Paul's the same as well, 2-1 Brentford. Goldfather says 1-0 Brentford. Ian says 2-1 Brentford. John says 1-0 Brentford. Jody says 3-1 Brentford. Julie says this one's going to be tight, 1-1 draw. Yeah, not a bad shout. There's only one greedy basket. Yeah, and 1-0 to Brentford, says JB. Okay, Rory, what's your thoughts on this game?
Again, the community stadium is a very tough place to play as an away team, and I think that we were the only team to beat them after they took the lead there last season. I think they've got goals, though Tony's suspended. I think Wissa and Boomer are quite capable of getting goals. I can see Palace scoring, but I can't see him scoring more than one. I'm going to have to agree with you. I think it'll be 2-1 to Brentford.
Yeah. It's a tight game, isn't it, Rory?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so as well. Right, we're going to go to the next game. You can have this one first, Rory, because I had the last one. And this is another 3 o'clock kickoff. And we know it's match week 3, and it's the third game in. Third game of the season. Are we already calling this a 6-pointer? Because I call this game a 6-pointer. It's a very, very big 6-pointer for both teams. So this is the game, and it's at Goodison Park. It might be a bit sticky down there, Before I go into this game, I just want to say, look, I just want to say, from this channel, as Newcastle fans, as neutral fans, look, our thoughts are with the construction worker who died at the new Everton ground when he fell. A lovely tribute from the Liverpool Football Club on Saturday against Bournemouth when the fans clapped on 26 minutes for his age. I thought that was classy from Liverpool and the fans. Considering that's our rivals, that's how football comes together, in my opinion, and that's where football comes together well. So I just want to say, look, from us as Newcastle fans, my personal thoughts and condolences are with their families because it's so tragic that somebody's lost their life. helping build a stadium. You know, and as much as we joke about Everton, things like that, but I just want to say, I do share the sadness at this sad time what that family must be going through at the moment. So, Roly, yes. So, Everton versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. This is a 6-pointer already. Give me your thoughts.
Well, my heart says 28-0 to Wolves because I really want Everton to go down. But on a serious note, Everton's biggest problem is going to be scoring goals. Um, I'm not sure they could score in a brothel. Um, I don't see him scoring. Um, I mean, Wolves were unfortunate to lose to Manchester United. I can see him nicking it 1-0.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout. Yeah, right. So before I get to myself, we'll go into this. Bias says, "Wise reamers of over." Yeah, Everton nil Wolves 1 says Bia. Calvert-Lewin is out already. Made a paper, that guy. Yeah, he's probably gone to Milan for the catwalk. That's why he's probably got injured, because he's due on the catwalk. Everton 1 Wolves 2 says JB. Tangi's going for a 1-1 draw. Ronald says RIP, absolutely.
Yeah.
Clotty says Goodison and Pot would be sticky if the brothers and sisters go together. Uh, John says, yeah, Tony's football's football, absolutely.
Yeah.
Ian says, well said, Tony. Yeah, no problem, mate. It's just it's so tragic. Look, we saw it in Qatar. I know it's different because of their human rights over there, and that was the different thing with them falling off. But for somebody to do it in this country, it's just so sad. Oliver says Everton nil, Wolves nil. We don't know what the ins and outs are of the tragic accident, but that's what it is. Paul says 0-0. Can't see any of them scoring. It'll be a boring 0-0, says John. Ronald's going for 2-1 to Wolves. Ian's going for a 1-1 draw. JB says at least Wolves can put 2 passes together, absolutely. Goldfather says 2-1 to Wolves. Jody says, Lawrence, he says, tough one to call, probably going for a draw, and this is a fixture I'm more likely to be 0-0 than any other. Coffee says 5-0 to Wolves. Will pundits put them in the title race? Jody says, I'm expecting a close match, but neither club are great. I think it will be either a 1-0 draw or a 1-0 Everton win. Well, my thoughts on this game. Look, Everton got their asses kicked last week against Villa, 4-0. And Villa could have won that game by more than 4 in all honesty. I didn't think Everton were great. They lost their first game against Fulham 1-0. This is a 6-pointer for both teams already. And yes, I know we're only in game 3, but this is already a 6-pointer. I expect there's going to be it's going to be tight. But Wolves have played okay. And I mean, look, against Brighton, yeah, okay, they were run over from Brighton, but they had chances in that game. Against Man United, they were up for it. They should have had a penalty, Wolves. I think Wolves win this game. And I'm going to say 2-0. And I think, in all honesty, Everton lose this game. I think Sean Dyche will start getting the jitters, because they'll be looking closely at whether he's going to stay on as manager. Because I wouldn't be surprised if Dyche is gone by October. I really wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me, especially if they keep losing the way they are. They're not a great team, Everton, and hopefully this is the year they drop. Wolves 2-1 says Lee. Sydney says 2-0 to Everton. 1-0 to Everton says Julie. John says Everton all over the place and long may it continue. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Okay. So that's the 6 pointer of the season. Okay, so the next game, and I'll take this one. And this one is at Manchester. But no, it's not at the Etihad. It's at the other ground, the one that's just outside Salford. Salford United. Sorry, Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest at Old Trafford. Forest haven't played too badly this season. I thought they've done all right. Yes, they just lost to Arsenal. They got a win last week against Sheffield United, albeit a last-minute wood header. Man U look terrible. They're all over the place. And, you know, we're hearing that Sheikh, the Sheikh and Vac, who will put the freshness back um, of Qatar. Apparently his bid's still on the table, but the rumours going around the Glazers do not want to sell now, which is great news.
Yeah.
Because we know how much the Man United fans hate the Glazers. It's a bit like us with our former owner, but at least he actually did go eventually. Took him 14 years, but we got rid of him. But yeah, I mean, look, I think Forest will go there and play, and I think Forest will play quite well. I wouldn't be surprised if Forest win this game. I really wouldn't. Because Man U have been absolutely woeful. I don't think they've been that great, in all honesty. If you look at Wolves, they tested them. They should have got out. That should have been a draw. I'm going for Forest to sneak this 2-1, in all honesty. I think Forest can go there and win because I think Man U look really bad in defence this season. Let's go into some comments before I get Roly's thoughts on the game. But yeah, I think so. Ronald says, Darren Bent says he's sick of seeing Everton fighting relegation on TalkSport. Hopefully they can do it for him. Absolutely. I'm not sure they will get rid of Dyche, though. Who would want to manage them? Well, that's it, yeah. Man United to lose 2-1, says B.R. Vacan, yeah. Ian says 3-0 Man U. Oliver says 2-1 Forest as well. Ronald says Forest 1, Ganon 1-0. Forest 1-0, says John. JB says 2-all. Mason Mount Highland injured. Yeah. Sydney 1-0 Lucky Manx. Tanji says Man U 1, Forest 1. The misery continues for Ten Hag. Yeah. Lawrence says going for Man U win, but this will probably be narrowly rather than comfortably. Yeah. 2-1 Forest. 2-all. Draw for me. Both have weaknesses at the back. 2-1 for Forest, says Lee. Man U are wide open when attacked, yeah. Odds on Ten Hag getting sacked, says Jody. Depends how bad they continue. Man U 2-1, Forest will get robbed. Man U are very poor, says John, absolutely. Bia says Steve Bruce to the rescue and good bacon at Goodison. Some really delusional fans out there, Man United, yeah, absolutely. Would to get the winner, says Andrew. Are you going to bet us a pint, Andrew? And Julie says Man U are 1, second rate Bruno will get the penalty. It's a free hit for Forest, says Tanji, to give it a go at this stage of the season, absolutely. Ronald says, I think Ten Hag's overrated massively. Right, Roly, your thoughts on this game?
It's an interesting one because Man United haven't been impressive by any stretch of the imagination this season, though we're only just into it. I thought Forest, I say, they played well in spells against Arsenal, and when they got the goal, they were unlucky not to equalise.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is that it's Old Trafford. Forest were last season were appalling away from home.
Yeah.
I think they'll be better this season, but I think Man United will have too much for them. I think it'll be a tight 2-1 win for Man United. I hope I'm wrong.
Roly.
I hope it's 2-1 to Forest, but
Sydney says Ten Hag's a Dutch Steve Bruce. Andrew says 10 slag is a massive bellend. Right, okay. So, moving on. The next game is the 5:30 kickoff on Sky, and we are going down the south coast to see the Seagulls. No, there will be no Mackems in danger, so the Seagulls can fly high without any worries whatsoever. So we will be visiting the Amex, and it's Brighton versus West Ham United. Start with you, Roly. How would you see this going?
Oh, Brighton have been on fire at the moment. Scoring goals for fun. Amex is a tough place to go. West Ham, they had a good win at the weekend. I can't see them beating Brighton. I think Brighton will win with a relatively comfortable 3-1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, this will be a hard game for West Ham, but West Ham have just come off the back of a 3-1 win over Chelsea. I think this could be interesting. I'm going to say do you know what? I'm going for a 3-3 draw.
That's a bold prediction.
That's a very bold prediction, but I think both can score goals. And yeah, I'm going 3-3, Roly.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That is interesting, isn't it?
You're a braver man than me on that prediction.
Julie says, I hate a £1 hack. Tanji says, Man U have Villa and Brighton after Forest. Brighton 2, West Ham 1. 1-1 says Oliver. 3-1 says Ian to Brighton. Should be entertaining match. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 2-2, says Jody. There we go, you see. Brighton to win 4-2, says Ronald. That's interesting. 3-1 to Brighton. 1-0, says John. 2-0, says Sydney. Tanchi says 2-2. Lawrence says going for Brighton to get another win. Lee says 3-2 West Ham. John thinks it'll be a tight game. Julie says easy. West Ham never beaten Brighton for years. Brighton 4, West Ham 2. Good point, Julie. 3-1 Brighton, says Coffee. Brighton 3, West Ham 1. Hammers made to look good by a poor Chelsea side. Yeah, definitely. That was what I was thinking, a 3-3 draw, but went 2-2 instead. See, I wasn't just being bold. Other people were thinking it. Namaro Green, West Ham versus Brighton. Yeah, what do you think the score will be on that one? How do you think the game will go? Paqueta will score and do a little dance, but Brighton will get all 3 points, says Julie. As long as he doesn't bet on a yellow card for himself. 2-0 Joe Linton. Hat-trick, says Clark. Andrew says Brighton will be tougher than Shaypool, in my opinion. Yeah, the Seagulls fly upside down over Sunderland because they're not worth shitting on when they land. They get blasted. Daniela says, yes, West Ham have not beaten Brighton, but that will change one day. Do you know what records are there to be broken, Daniela? Absolutely. And I've gone for a 3-3 draw for your team, so there you go. Right, let's get the next game. So I'll take this one. This is Sunday, and this is obviously at 2 p.m. This is at Turf Moor, going over to Burnley. And it is Vincent Kompany. It's Burnley versus Aston Villa under Unai Emery. Villa, who are buoyed by that 5-0 smashing over Hibernian last night in the Conference League playoff, which I think now they can safely say they'll be in the group stage unless Hibernian go there and beat them 6-0, which then dumps Villa out, but can't see that happening.
It's not gonna.
But hey, funnier things have happened. Look, we were 4-0 down at half-time to Arsenal, who thought we would come back and draw 4-4. So, like I say, football is a funny old game. But anyway, Burnley Villa, I think this will be an interesting game. Yes, Villa smashed everything. But no disrespect to Everton. Look at the way we smashed Villa. We took them apart. So I think Burnley will get their win on this game. I really do. I think Burnley will win this game. Because the only game he's played is a 3-0 defeat against Man City, and he'll have the team, and he's played the best club side in the world. So, I think Burnley win this game. I'm going to say 3-1 Burnley. So before I come to Roly, I'll just go into the comments. So, right, let's go. Jody says, I ask a Brazilian called Lucas, what's the odds on West Ham picking up a yellow card? Daniela says, I think we will be better than a lot of fans think. I see a draw as well, she says, yeah. Burnley 2-2, says JB. I think Lucas Paquet as innocent, says Julie. Let's hope. Burnley 2. Sorry, Ronnie?
So I'll put a fiver on that.
Tanji says Burnley 2, Villa 3. Yeah. 2-1 Villa, says Bia. 2-2 says Ronald. 4-1 Villa. Something rotten with all that with Betway. Yeah. Sydney says 3-2 Villa. 4-1 Villa. From Coffee. Julie says, I bet he isn't. Draw or a Villa win. Hip 6 Villa 0, says Ian, laughing. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying, Ian. It's not going to happen, is it? I'm going 2-2, but think Burnley will have home bounce. Yeah. Ian says 2-2 as well. 2-1 to Burnley, says Lee. Jody says 1-1. Villa flying since we stuffed them. 3-1 Villa. JB, Burnley are okay at times against City. Ronald says, how long Tony Alex Ferguson thought Villa were unlucky here? Oh, he's just a bell end, mate, isn't he? Absolutely. Villa 3-0, says Andrew. This Lucas fella thinks otherwise. Daniela says, yeah, bet we're pissed off they lost money and they're kicked out being sponsored by politics. Oliver says, take game. I think Burnley might just win this 1-0, score, then park the bus. Do you know what? That's not a bad shout as well. Roly, what was your thoughts on this game?
I only have a sample size of one game for Burnley, and that was against arguably the best team in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But they did create chances, but my worry is their finishing up front. We'll give Villa a good game. Villa are buoyant at the moment. But I can't see Burnley scoring. And I think Villa will. So I'm going for a Villa win. And I'm going to plump for 2-0.
2-0.
Yeah.
Well, Foxy says, I think Burnley win this. They had a whole week to prepare for the game they didn't play last weekend. No, absolutely, Foxy. Spot on.
That's a good point. But I just think that the form that Villa are in now, and they're scoring for fun.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna get at least 2 goals. And I can't see Burnley scoring that.
JB says Old Whiskey Nose was just paid off because he had been dragged away from the bar to do the interview. Ferguson. Harry Scarfy, big up. Hi, Harry. Hope you're well, pal. Hope you're well, mate. How are you feeling about Spurs this season, Harry? Let us know. Harry will be coming on when we have the previews for the Spurs games. So he is very great indeed. Paul says depends if Paqueta backed himself to score an own goal. Vincent Company's a good manager, says Julie. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's
right, so
got to work with that I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Well, they'll get better. I don't think they'll be in any trouble. I think they probably could have used having the game against Luton last weekend.
Yeah.
To get them running, but they'll be okay. Just might take a bit of time. I don't know what their schedule is after after Villa, but
No.
they'll get enough points.
Right, Roly. The next game we're coming to, and you come to this one first for you. We're off to Bramall Lane in Sheffield, Steel City. And it's Sheffield United versus Manchester City. So, what is your thoughts, Roly, on this game?
This game is either going to be relatively close, or it's going to be an absolute blowout to City. City, I mean, at the moment they look unbeatable.
Mm-hmm.
They paid. Obviously, Pet's the best manager in the world. They had put together a really good game plan against us to nullify us, which they managed to do. Sheffield United won't score, and it's really a case of whether Man City score 3 or more goals. I'm going to be kind to Sheffield United and say 3-0, but it could just as easily be 6.
Yeah. Okay. So Harry's saying looking forward to this season. Yeah, absolutely, mate. He says congratulations on 1K. Thank you very much indeed, Harry. Thanks, mate. And yeah, got there in good time. Foxy says Burnley to beat Man U 3-0 in behind the closed doors friendly this week. Yeah, they did. Tanji says 5-0 to City. Lawrence says easy for City this one. 6-0 City says Beer. Ian's going 3-0 as Rocketeering goes, putting bets on in Paqueta's own town isn't the brightest. Rocketeering, yeah. Ronald says 5-0 City. Geordie says Sheffield United Championship club. I think Man City will absolutely dominate this match and score 4. Coffee's going for a record score 20-0. England women won 20-0 against somebody, didn't they? Latvia, I think. Sheffield.
Oh God, must be about 30 years ago in the Scottish Cup. I think it's Stirling Albion beat someone 20-0.
Yeah.
And it's only 6-0 at half time. I don't know what the manager said to them at half time.
Our record scores 13-0 against Newport County.
Yeah.
JB says Sheffield United 0, Man City 5. Daniela's going 6-0 for City. Jody says 4-0. Paul's saying 4-0 City. Lee saying 3-1 City.
3-1. You think Sheffield United will score?
3-0. Julie says 7-0. Holland all 7. Give my FPL a boost. Sydney says 4-0. 2-1 for City. Yeah, Latvia at the keep more in 21. 3 players got hat-tricks. Yes, that's right, Lawrence, they did. Right, so my thoughts on this game. Well, it's only one winner for me, and that's Manchester City. And City will dominate this game, and they'll win it 7-0. Roly probably thinks I'm bloody bonkers, but...
No, I don't. No, I don't.
I think it could be 7.
It could be. I mean, it could as easily be 3 as it is. As I said, it could be 3 or it could be 6. It could be 7. It really depends on what mood City are in.
Yeah.
If they want to pad the goal difference, it'll be 7. If they just want a comfortable workout, it'll be 3.
Yeah. Okie dokie.
And I said I was being kind to Sheffield by saying it's only 3-0.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, okay, so this is for me now. We come to the final game, and the final game of the weekend. It's a 4:30 kickoff on Sunday afternoon. I think we all know where it is. Yes, it's only at one place. It's at the Cathedral on the Hill, St James's Park, and it's Newcastle United versus Liverpool. The match officials for this game are as follows. The referee is John Brooks, who we can't stand. I think, he's just another one who was just a bit of an arse. He's assisted by Lee Betts and Akil Housen. The fourth official, couldn't be any worse either, Craig Pawson. Doesn't get much of it out of VAR, it's Stuart Atwell. And Stuart Atwell's assistant is Andrew Robertson's best mate, Konstantin Hatzidakis. So that is the...
Well, that'll leave it out in the VAR room then.
Yeah, that is the lineup of referees and officials for the game. Now, going to the game, look, we dominated Villa, we beat them well. Yes, we lost to City. Some of our fan base had a meltdown over it and, prompted Bruno to have a pop at the fans. And I don't blame Bruno for 1 minute having a pop. He's got every right to have a pop because it's like, put the house into perspective. We've just got beat off the best club side in the world and we only lost 1-0. No disgrace losing 1-0 at the Etihad because I'll tell you now, there'll be teams going there and I'm not just talking about smaller teams. I'm talking about the likes of your Liverpools, your Arsenals. They may go there and concede more than one.
Last season, Arsenal got beat
lost 4-2 there.
They've got 4 past them.
So I don't think it's any disgrace. But going at this game, Liverpool look shocking defensively. They don't look as great at the back. And I think if we get at them, we could turn this into a very quick game. I think it's going to be a feisty game. I think Klopp's going to be feisty on the touchline. I can see us getting a win out of this game. I really can. I'm feeling confident for this one. Now it depends. Now, will Liverpool have more Salah? We do not know. He could be off to Saudi by then. We will find out. Because as we know, a transfer that's not going to happen can all of a sudden happen, and it can happen very, very quickly. We've seen it ourselves. Look how quick we've got transfers done. So I'm going to say we win this game. And I'm going to say 3-1 to us. Just to stick it up Klopp. Right, let's see what the people in the comments have to say about this one as well. Bias says it'll be 6-0 to City. Yeah, it will be, absolutely.
Could be.
But yeah, could well be. Klopp, he says Sheffield United will sit in and it will be a tough, close game in my opinion.
Just on Sheffield United, quickly, do you think that they'll break the record for the lowest points in a Premier League season?
Who, Sheffield United?
Yeah.
It could do. I mean, they're on the verge of signing Cameron Archer, aren't they, from Villa, so yeah, I'm surprised. A lot of Villa fans are surprised by that because they like him, apparently.
Yeah, but it's not going to get in the starting 11. We'll get some good game time at Sheffield United.
Lawrence says confident we'll get the win. Paul says 4-1 the tune. Foxy says I'm going to be realistic with this prediction. Well, we're waiting for a Foxy. I can see City rotating their squad, says Daniela. That wouldn't surprise me.
It's not going to make a difference, though. They're still going to thump Sheffield United.
Bias says 3-0 Newcastle. Red card in this game. 3-1 win for us. Head says 2-2, but heart says 3-1, says Ian. 2-3-1, says Daniela. Jody says, honestly, don't fear anyone at home, and I think we are more capable. Showing Liverpool 3-4 to the tune. Yeah, absolutely. 3-1 the tune, says John. Ronald says 3, Liverpool 0. Let's do the bin dippers and clip it in. Foxy says 1-0 Newcastle. Miggy injury time. Right foot 30-yarder in off the bar. That'll be fantastic.
Right foot.
Coffee says 3-2 Newcastle, goals from Isak, Gordon and Mafinho, Szoboszlai and Salah to score in his final game. Might not even be playing on Sunday if Coffee. Tanji says Newcastle 6, Liverpool 1, Klopp sent off, Carragher spits in his face. Sydney says we'll be absolutely batter them 1-0. I'm in the minority, but it was a misinterpretation between Bruno and NUFC 360. I just posted to Bruno, we love him absolutely, mate. 4-0, we beat Poole and get a feeling, but it could be the wind. I agree, Ronald, it was all blown out of proportion regarding NUFC 360, yeah. Gary says, trouble with Liverpool is decisions always seem to go their way. They'll be so bloody lucky, let's hope not. Clarkey says, it'll be a controversial game, no doubt. Okay then, Roly, so it's over to you.
Speaking on that NUFC 360 Twitter post, I think it's more the comments that people are posting to that post than the post. Because some people just need to give their head a shake because we got beat 1-0 by arguably the best club side in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And people are having a meltdown. Get a grip. Get a grip.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's not like we play them every week either. I mean,
no.
I saw, I forget which podcast it was, saying that we're out of the title race already. And thinking, we played 2 games. One of them was against Man City. We've lost 1 and won 1. We don't have to beat Man City at all this season. It's just everybody else we've got to beat.
Yeah, I mean, Clotty says it'll be a controversial game, no doubt. Julie says Newcastle 4, Liverpool 3, Klopp sent off. Lawrence says dreaming of a 3-2 win with Isak opening the scoring, but Liverpool going half-time 2-1 up before Isak equalised and Almiron screamer to win it. Similar to the goal film, that would be great. If the ref is dodgy, I hope Joe Linton pezzles him. I was just going to click on Daniela's comment there, but it went off. There we are. She says, with you guys, it's going your way from this season. Going your way this season, yeah. I think officials are very wary at the moment after Man U Wolves about favouring the so-called Big Six, absolutely. Bruno missed the last 2 games against Liverpool. He'll be up for this one. Yes, he will be.
Yeah, they've not played against Bruno yet.
Yeah, we will see a good reaction as we lost after we lost. Yeah. I think he'll score. Yeah, I think so as well. Right, Roly, what's your thoughts on this game?
I think there are 2 ways this game's going to go. One way, if they defend like they did against Bournemouth in the first half, the first 20, 30 minutes,
yeah,
we could do another Spurs against them. Because they were, all of them, including Alisson, they were just so bad at the back.
Yeah.
I think we win, whichever way it happens, and I think we win quite comfortably.
Yeah.
I think we go with an unchanged side. I think Anthony Gordon is actually going to be up for this. Bruno gets a good go at Liverpool, because last season when they beat us both times, Bruno was injured then suspended.
Yeah.
I think that our midfield runs rings around theirs. I think we overpower them, and I think we win 3-1.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons that I would play Anthony Gordon is his pace, because I was at the game at St James's Park, and the 2 goals were breakaways, and it was Salah with his pace, but Anthony Gordon can. You look at what he did with Diaby, who's quick, and that one breakaway, he ran him down and put him off for the side. I think he'll be tasked with chasing back Salah if they break, because they'll try and let us come on to them and try and hit us on the break. I think it'd be
Yeah.
Gordon's duty to keep an eye on Salah and track him back. I think we win. I think that it's 3-1. I think the goals will be from Anthony Gordon, Alexander Isak, and a goal in the the 12th minute of 10 minutes of stoppage time. It'd be lovely if it was Nick Pope.
With a long goal kick, and Allison comes out and completely misses it.
Or he comes up for a corner. That's not going to happen. But no, I think Gordon, Isak, and Callum Wilson. Because Wilson will come
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Clarky says, love Roly's background. Yours is great too, Tony. Thank you very much
Thank you.
indeed, Clarky. Jack says, sadly, my old maths teacher isn't refereeing this weekend. Yeah. Lee says, 3-1 win for us. Clap sent off. Mad Dog laughing at him.
It won't just
Sydney
be Mad
says,
Dog,
too many of
it'll be
our
the whole
fans, reactionary idiots. Fernandez and Klopp sent off, chomping at the bit. Daniela says, just says, yes, a lot of fans need to chill. No one is winning every game they play, absolutely. Bruno will score a filthy goal similar to the Southampton one. Absolutely. Liverpool, poor defensively against Chelsea too, just Chelsea can't score goals.
Yeah.
Jack and Clarky talking to each other. Okay. So I think, we're all going out for a Newcastle win, which is obvious. We are going to go for a Newcastle win. Daniela says, especially when they're playing 50 plus games like the top teams do in the season, absolutely. Paul says, these prediction shows are class, great banter, wash hands. Yeah, thanks, mate. I mean, look, I only started doing it towards the back end of last season, about the last 3 games, and people really enjoyed it because everybody gets involved in the chat as well, so you all get your comments in.
It's just fun.
And so I said I would start it again this season from the start. So, but this will happen every week. Normally it's going to be on a Wednesday, but as I say, because last night, with the weather being so hot and I had a headache, I just didn't feel up to doing anything last night. So, so
there are a couple of. I think it's December. There are a lot of games, so we'll have them more regularly then. I think there's November. I think there are quite a few games as well. So yes, it's just a lot of fun, and we can see how our views change as the matches go by.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just interesting to see what we said and how close we were.
Yeah, definitely. But guys, we're coming. We're coming to the end of the show, and it's obviously been a great show tonight, and glad everybody's enjoyed themselves tonight, and that it's been good crack as well. So absolutely brilliant. Glad you've all enjoyed the show. But don't forget, if you have liked what you see, then please do smash that like. So if you haven't yet smashed that like, then please do. It does help the channel and means new viewers find it. Also, if you are brand new at the channel, come and smash the subscribe and be part of this great community. And also the bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. If you do want to become a member, it is 99p. Just click the join button. And if you want to make a donation, as Ian did tonight, you can do that by clicking the $sign. Rory, do you want to let people know where they can find you?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Poll67. You're going to put it up on the screen.
Oh, sorry, hang on. Let me take that banner off. There we go. There we are.
At Poll67. If you follow me, I'll follow you back when I remember.
Yeah.
Well, I got told off for not following someone back.
Jason.
That's it, yeah.
I get the impression most people are just guessing the scores, though. Yeah, we are. We're just guessing the scores. But it's all a bit of fun at the end of the day, Gary. And, it's just nice for people to have interaction as well. And we are going to do one show one night. I'm going to do a show. and I'm gonna, we're gonna have a trip down memory lane. So I want people to come on with our memories in the chat as well. Memories of like being a Newcastle fan, past, present, whatever, and like what shirts you got, things like that. So we're going to do that one night, and I think that'll be an interesting show. Best newcomer vote, says Ronald.
Oh yes, please,
Uh,
because there's
yeah,
the football podcast votes are going out. So if
yeah,
anyone wants to vote for us for the best newcomers,
yeah.
that'd be
We've only
great.
been going 10 months. I started the channel back in October 22. I wasn't going to do my own channel in all honesty, but I was, I had a few people in the chat saying to me, "Oh, you should have your channel. You should have a channel." And I thought, you know what? I'll take the plunge. Okay, I'll have a go. And within 10 months to be 1,000 subscribers, I didn't expect that, to be all honesty. But it's all thanks to you guys for, the channel wouldn't be a channel without you. So, I do thank everybody who does subscribe and everybody who comes on and has a chat as well. We're like a family here, a community. So, it's just absolutely brilliant. And it's great to bring you shows. Julie says, great shows always. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Julie. Coffee says, bye, Tony, Roly, and all. Goodbye to you, Coffee. Facebook user, I don't know who you are, but he says, or she says, oh no, not these two again. Sydney says, good show, Tony. Thank you very much, Sydney. Ian says, cheers, Tony and Roly. Great shows always. Thanks very much, mate. Good night, all, says Julie. Good night to you. Are Tony and Roly going to the game? No, we're not, unfortunately. No.
Still
No.
trying to.
No.
Still, last season I went to games with the hospitality that sold out pretty much straight away. And I used sportsrates.com, and they've not been given prices from the club. They're a bit frustrated because they're waiting to get tickets and prices for games. I think that's my best route to getting tickets, but I'm hoping that the club pull their finger out and sort it out with sports break so I can get some tickets to some games. I want to go to the Bournemouth game because that's the day after my birthday in February, and maybe get another game as well.
Gary says, see you later. See you later, Gary.
Cheers, Gary.
Clarky says, great show, Tony and Rory. Cheers, Clarky.
Cheers, Clarky.
John says, great show, lads, as usual. Keep safe, same to you all. Yeah, you too, mate. Cheers, thank you very much. Lisa, spot on show tonight, Tony and Rory, and everyone. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up for Tony and Rory. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care, Tony, Rory, and chat, says Jack. Cheers, Jack. You too, mate.
Yep, you too.
Julie says, I think I'm following you, Roly. She's Julie.
Julie
MJ 209. Yeah.
I will check to make sure that I've followed you back.
Tony, man, it was a joke. Yeah. Oh, I know that, Gary. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah. No problems, mate. No worries. Don't worry about that, Gary. You're absolutely fine, mate. Latest, guys, let me get this bolognese finished. Enjoy. Is that for tomorrow night's tea? Best young content creator, I voted for Jack. Oh, definitely for Jack. Yeah, he's a great lad. Jack is. Yeah, absolutely for young content. Yeah, definitely. Memories. I went to Bladen Races on 9th of June, 1862 on a summer's afternoon. Yeah, great one. Ronald says, already done one. Haha, thank you. Aye, not a bad set of lads. Thank you very much. Arsenal since 1987, guys. Up. Big up. Tierney left out of train day after breaking news as Tierney set for a loan move to Real Sociedad. Best of luck in Spain. The way he's been treated is disgusting. Yeah, I totally agree, and I hope he does well in Spain. Yeah, absolutely. Paul says, congratulations on 1,000th. Fantastic show. Fully deserved. Thanks very much, Paul. Cheers, mate. Yeah, congratulations on 1K, says Clarky. Cheers, mate. Thank you. I'm going to Bournemouth game for my birthday week. Nice one, Jack. Nice one. But Clarky says notes for now, but the girlfriend isn't happy. Yeah, okay. yeah, so it's been a great show tonight, guys, and we'll be back tomorrow with a show as well. So do keep an eye out for that one. Probably won't
Oh,
be a show Saturday because I'm out at Sandringham. I'm at a concert on
no,
Saturday.
I'm not going to be. I'm going to a wedding do tomorrow, so I won't be able to join you.
Yeah. And Sunday I should be back in time. I'm going out on Sunday, but I should be back in time anyway. So thank you for everybody who's came on tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show, and remember, the future's bright. The future is definitely black
Yeah.
and white. It's bye bye from me.
And just before I go, I'll just say, Julie, I've just followed you back.
There you
I'm
go.
terrible at catching up with that. Okay, and it's goodbye from me.
How are you, the lads?